Hello everyone, welcome to my channel and thank you for clicking on this video. I hope you're all doing really well and staying safe. I know as I'm filming this, the UK is in lockdown and everybody is quarantining at home. So I hope if you're watching this, then you're at home, staying safe, and I'm actually pleased I can give you a little video to watch while you're quarantining. So as you can see by the title of this video, I'm going to be doing a little sit down talk with me about university and how my first year has been so far, how I've coped with it and settled in, and just generally talking about uni life and the course that I'm doing. Got a little cup of tea over here to sit and drink while I film this. And I might even do a little face mask if I'm feeling bougie. So yeah, we're just going to get straight in because I have a feeling that this is going to be a very long video. So for a little bit of background information, I study at University of the Arts London. My college is London College of Fashion and I study fashion design. Since starting this course, I've had so many questions over on TikTok and Instagram about what it's like to move to London, what it's like to study at UAL, what it's like to study at London College of Fashion in specific, and yeah, just genuinely what it's like to be a fashion student. I actually went over to my Instagram and asked you to ask me some questions about what you want me to talk about in this video. When I was applying to uni, I wanted to know certain things and I watched a lot of these types of videos about moving to London. So I know that these videos are such a big help to people, so I just wanted to make sure that I was answering the right things and I could actually inform people on topics that they would like to know more about. I'm seeing that a lot of the questions are about this year as a whole, going from literally applying to uni and going to the interview, and then like settling into uni, how the course has been throughout this year and how I'm feeling about it now. So I'm going to answer them in order from the start of the year to now. I feel like that's just going to be the easiest way and also going to be the easiest way to follow for you guys. So the first question is, what was the interview process like? For me, the interview process was okay. It was quite long and a little bit stressful, but that is literally the same for anybody going through an interview process for anything, whether it's a job, for uni, for college, for sixth form, like anything you have an interview for, it's always going to be a stressful time preparing for it and making sure that it goes well. So I actually did fashion and textiles at Newcastle College. That was a 2-year course. So in my second year in 2018, we started the application process for uni through UCAS. So I could only apply to 5 universities. That was a maximum amount you were allowed to apply for through UCAS. So I applied to London College of Fashion, CSM, Westminster, Ravensbourne and Kingston University, all for generally the same courses, all fashion design. CSM was fashion design and marketing. Okay, so I'm in the middle of editing this video and I feel like I didn't really explain this part very well. So basically, once UCAS sent our application off, it took a couple of weeks for the unis to get back to us to see whether we needed to submit any more work that they wanted to see. So basically with London College of Fashion, they got back to me a few weeks later and said that they wanted me to submit a digital portfolio online, and it was through like their UAL portal that they use for applicants. So they like gave me a checklist over email and they said what it needed to include, and yeah, it was just about 10 pages just full of like your best work that show like a project start to finish. And yeah, once I sent that off, it took a few weeks for them to then look over that and decide whether I got to the interview stage. So just thought I'd pop on and explain that a bit further, and I'll now let you get back into the proper video. So in terms of the interview day itself for London College of Fashion, it was okay as a whole. It started at about 11, so obviously I had to get up really early as my train was about 3 hours to London. They didn't actually hold the interview at London College of Fashion. It was at a separate building in Shoreditch that they just hired to hold all of the students that were applying. So I went into this building at around 11 and I didn't actually get my interview until about 4:30 that evening. So it was a really long day just sitting around talking to people. I was really nervous. All the staff were lovely. They kept bringing drinks over for you. They kept asking if you were okay. And a lot of people that I met during the interview, they had theirs early in the morning. So some people literally just went there, had the interview and left. Whereas a few people like me had to wait there all day, which looking at it now was actually fine. But obviously at the time you're really nervous and you're kind of up a height. I actually had a lovely man who was in charge of a lot of the courses at London College of Fashion. He was super nice. He loved my work. I didn't really feel like he was interviewing me almost. Like obviously he was asking me questions, but I didn't really feel like he was judging me. He was kind of really interested in what I had to say, and he just wanted to know whether I was right for the course basically. Obviously if you get to the interview, all the teachers know that you're good or you've actually got some strong work in your portfolio. So it wasn't so much of a feeling that I was nervous about whether he was going to think I was good or not. It was just seeing if I was right for the course, and obviously He would have been honest with me if I wasn't. I know some people that I met on the day that actually didn't get a place on the course they had an interview for, but actually got offered a place on a different course that was more suited to them. So he kind of just flicked through my work and asked me questions as he went along the way. I had a video of one of my projects to show him, which was quite nice because instead of just flicking through pages of work, he actually had something on his computer to watch. And then this wasn't the same for everybody, but it was for a few people that I spoke to. Around about halfway through the interview, he actually told me that I was able to get a place on the course. So he said that, "I like your work and I think that you would be really good for this course. I would love to offer you a place." Instead of just like giving me the place and sending me away, he wanted to actually give me information about the course, not just kind of what's your work like let me see your work and then give me the place. At least he took time to actually tell me more about the course so I could then choose that in the end. If any of you watching this video have an interview coming up, my biggest tips would just definitely to be stay calm, which is like a general one that everyone says, but literally just stay calm and just see it as an opportunity to talk about your work. Obviously the teachers must think that your work's really good. If you've got to the interview stage, they're not going to interview students that they don't feel have the potential to be on the course. Stay really confident, try not to make your portfolio pages too long, and also just really condense your portfolio into work that you know a lot about and work that you're really proud of and you feel passionate about, because I feel like if you're really passionate about your work, this will reflect in how you talk about it. And I feel like it's really important for the teachers to sit down and realise that you did this work, you're passionate about it, and you can talk to me about it and almost sell your portfolio to them. Definitely just stick to your guns, put your best work in there, talk about it passionately, and think of a good handful of designers and things that inspire you that you would be able to include, just so not only they can get to know more about your work but also get to know more about you as a person. I feel like I've been talking about this question for so long. I'm so sorry if I answered that badly. It's kind of all a blur to me now. I feel like this year everything's changed so much. I kind of can't really remember the process that much, but I've tried to give you as much information as I can, so I hope it's helped. And if you have any more questions like that, I might do a full video on it, or I can answer some more questions in the comments down below. So the next question is, do you suggest doing a foundation year first? I definitely feel like this would be good to prepare you for uni, as it's a bit more similar to the type of study you'll be doing at uni. However, I didn't do this and I don't feel like it's essential. It's basically most important on what you learn and how you build your portfolio. So for me, I feel like I learned so much at college and enough to go to uni. I didn't actually struggle with the transfer from college to uni. However, I feel like if some people don't actually study fashion before and are doing like an art A level, or maybe an art A level that has a bit of fashion into it, you might want to do a foundation year first, just so you can build a bit more work before you jump straight into studying fashion like as a whole. I also know that a lot of fashion courses or art courses don't offer like pattern cutting, whereas mine did, and I know that that's something you need to know quite a lot of before going to uni. So yeah, I feel like definitely do one if that's an option for you, but it's definitely not essential. If you feel like your work's strong enough to go straight into uni, then definitely do that. And also if you already study fashion, then it's definitely not essential. I feel like it's just for people that come from maybe academic backgrounds that haven't studied fashion before and want to get a head start before going to uni, and also just a chance for people to develop for a year and focus on building their portfolio to apply to uni in the future. So the next question that I was asked is, do student loans cover most things? I feel this is really different for everybody. It kind of just depends on your circumstances, because when you apply to student finance, you actually have to put in like your parents' pay and salary. For me, the amount of student loan that I got actually did end up covering my rent and a lot of social time as well. So I was really lucky to get enough to cover all of those things. And I did also work quite a bit throughout uni and sell things. So I feel like all in all, student loan covered a lot of what I needed it to cover and helped me out so much. But I know for everybody who got the minimum student loan, that they struggled a little bit. It kind of just depends what you spend your money on and how much your rent is. So it's a question that I can't really answer for everybody, just kind of for myself. So yeah, mine was fine, but just depends. So the next question that I got asked is about expenses and did you take savings and how much was accommodation. So for me personally, I didn't actually take that many savings. I actually got a student overdraft with Santander, which enabled me to access a £1,500 overdraft that I used for accommodation deposits and just the first few months of settling into uni with like buying little apartment things and buying equipment that I needed for my course. I didn't actually go down the uni halls route. I actually shared an apartment with my boyfriend for the first year. We moved into like a small flat, which actually worked out a bit cheaper than student halls because we obviously half the rent each month. So my accommodation was £715 per month. That was without bills. I do know that that sounds like so much, like that is a lot of money to pull out every month for accommodation. However, it's actually quite cheap compared to some apartments in London, and I stayed in quite central London, which obviously tends to be more expensive. And also a lot of the friends that I met that were in uni halls, their accommodations seemed to be like £800 to £850. So I actually think that mine worked out a little bit cheaper than halls would have. Even though that amount of money is a lot to rent per month, I definitely feel like it was a good price for the apartment that we got. It was a really nice modern apartment in central London, so I feel like I can't complain. However, next year I am going to try and find like a flat share or something, just something a little bit cheaper, as I just think it would be so much better to have a little bit extra money to spend on other things, not just where you live in. Another question that I also got about money was, how do you afford to still buy clothes and live in London? I feel like this wasn't the case all of the time. There was periods where I couldn't actually buy clothes and I was struggling a bit with money, which is the same for everybody at uni. Like, it's not really anything too bad as long as you can afford your rent and you can afford food. That's the main thing. But yeah, a lot of times throughout uni I was lucky enough to be able to buy clothes, but I did work a lot and I was getting money from selling things on Depop, and I feel like just definitely try and work as much as you can and try and earn that little bit of money just to set aside for stuff like clothes. When I moved into uni, I did spend loads on like apartment decorations, and I did do loads of clothes shops and bought shoes, and I just feel like, looking back at it now, maybe I shouldn't have done that and I could have like had a bit more money set aside for the whole of the year. But if you can, save your money, but if not, just try and work. Simple as that. One question I got, is food expensive? Yes, because I eat a lot of it, bitch. Literally, food takeaways all the time, food orders every week, you know, going out for meals with your friends. Like, it's so expensive, but also I love eating, so why not spend money on something you love? So I'm actually in the mood to do a little face mask. So I've got my mirror here and I'm going to put one on, and I'm just still going to chat to you about some more questions, and we're just going to have a little chill time. I feel a little bit dressed up to be sat doing a face mask, but this cord is comfy. It's basically just like a pair of pyjamas, so we're going to go with it. I don't know if you can tell, but I have actually broke out quite a lot at the minute and my skin is really oily, so this should be good. It's going to go straight in. I don't actually know how thick this is going to be. Ooh. So the next question is best clubs and bars to go to. Ooh. This is quite a good one. So for me, I feel like London didn't really live up to expectations that much about bars and stuff. Obviously I've had some really good nights out, but I definitely feel that like it's a bit overrated, to be honest, because when I first moved to London, and obviously it was like freshers period, I paid like £90 for like a wristband for like all the different freshers events, and that actually ended up being really, really bad. All the clubs were kind of just like overcrowded, like people just on their phones all the time, like posting pictures, and my main music style is like drum and bass anyway, and there wasn't actually that many drum and bass events during freshers. So some of my favourite clubs are like E1, Printworks, Fabric, Studio 338. I'm actually struggling to think of like really good bars in London. Like, I've been to some, but I can't actually think of them right now. It's so dumb. There's this app called Dusk that you get like a free drink every day, so we kind of just use that and go to random places and like never go back. Box Park in Shoreditch is really good, but it gets quite busy, especially on a night time. I feel like even though I've been out a lot, I haven't been to like a wide range of places. I've kind of just stuck to the same type of events all the time. I don't know, to be fair. I feel like I need more experience about going out in London before I can really comment on it. This face mask feels so good. It's like so refreshing, and it's like making my skin feel really cold, and I love that for a face mask. So the next question is, do you find UAL students ignorant to other universities? I don't really know about other universities because I haven't had experience there, but in terms of UAL students, I haven't actually come across that many ignorant people. I don't actually think I've come across any people I would necessarily call ignorant. Everyone in my course is super nice and super helpful, and I feel like I can go to a lot of people for help and they will give me honest feedback. I feel like my friendship group this year has been quite small anyway, and I've kind of just stuck around with the people that I've clicked with. So even the few people that I'm in uni with, I also stick to doing stuff outside of uni with the same people, just so I kind of just have a nice friendship group that I can just go to about anything and just feel close to. Yeah, but luckily I've been really happy with the people I've been around this year. I haven't had any bad experiences with anyone, so it's been quite good overall. So the next question is, which parts lived up to expectations and which didn't? As I mentioned before, freshers really didn't live up to expectations. I feel like everybody goes on about freshers and it being the best time of your life, but it's really not. It's literally just like a normal night out, all students like just getting drunk off like cheap drinks, and it's kind of just turns into like a messy night. A place that did live up to my expectations is Shoreditch. Before I moved to uni, I heard so much about it, about all like the cool bars and cafes there. And one of my campuses for uni is also located in Shoreditch, so I'm there quite a lot, and I just absolutely love that place. Like, you walk around and you see so many diverse people, and you're around a lot of creative people, and there's so many cute little boutique shops and little clothing stores that you wouldn't see in somewhere like Oxford Circus. I just feel like it's just a fun and creative place to be around. So yeah, Shoreditch definitely lived up to expectation. Something else that didn't really live up to expectations was like the idea of shopping. I don't know why, but I thought when moving to London, like, I'd buy so many cool things and I'd be able to like go to stores that I wouldn't find anywhere else in the country, and like just be able to come across more unique products. But I feel like my course definitely lived up to expectation. Going into uni, I felt like it was going to be so hard and so intense, which it was. It was both of them things, but also it was really enjoyable. And all in all, I just wanted to have a really fun first year and be able to meet new people and go out and also just experience a different world. And I feel like that definitely lived up to my expectations, because I've done everything I've wanted to do this year. I've travelled around different parts of London. I've got to know London really well. I've got to know a lot of people. Like, I've been able to go to cool events and be able to study hard and also get good grades. So yeah, I feel like as a whole, my course did live up to expectation. One thing that didn't live up to expectation is that I was actually excited to like get on tubes and be able to like get on the red London buses and stuff, like all these things that you associate as a tourist of London. These turn into like actual nightmares once you're used to London. Like, the first few weeks I was like, oh, like I love getting on a tube and listening to my music and my outfit, and I love dressing up and getting on the tube, like all of these silly things. But then 3 months in and you're getting on a tube and you're sweating and you literally stood like this next to about 1,000 people that you don't know. You're like, for God's sake. So the next question is, do you have to dress up and be extra to get noticed? Not really. I don't feel like you have to dress up as such. I definitely feel like a lot of fashion students, especially at the start of the course, like they put more effort into the outfits and they want to look cool, and everybody's just trying to maybe like get a few compliments on like, oh, where's that top from and stuff like that. But I don't feel like you have to. Like, a lot of people that I met, and also myself, just going to uni wearing chill outfits sometimes. Like, a lot of people that I know just come in a tracksuit, and like that's totally fine. I don't really feel like you should judge people on that. I do also feel like it's really important to use clothing as like an accessory to stand out and an accessory to express how you feel inside, because for me, I feel like my style can be quite different to other people's, and it's a way for me to be creative. So like, going into uni with an outfit that I love also makes me more productive and makes me feel happier for the day. I don't feel like you have to dress up, no, but I feel like it's good to, like, if you want to dress up and like show people that you love clothes and show people your unique style, then definitely do that. And I wouldn't say it gets you more noticed, because your personality is the main thing that people are going to love. But yeah, I just think be you and do what you want to do, and yeah, you'll get noticed either way, really. So a couple of questions I've got is from one person that wants to know more about the course itself that I study. So I study fashion design and development currently. However, I'm actually going to change to a different course next year. Do they let you create pieces with your own unique style? I feel like my course is really good for that. At the start of the year, we did a main project where you kind of were just left to it. You were able to build your own concept and go out and research what you wanted to research. In the brief of that project, they were saying what you had to have, but not what you had to do. So they said like you have to have a portfolio with 30 pages in with the final outcome, but they didn't tell you what had to be on, which was really good. However, the project that I'm doing now is my last project of first year, which is a uniforms project. So we actually got allocated like a role. So mine is paramedics on the NHS. So I have to then like redesign a new uniform for paramedics, which I feel like didn't allow me to be as unique as I wanted to be, and I feel like it's not really that fitting to my unique style, because I wasn't able to go and like design these massive garments and these cool things for paramedics to wear, because that wouldn't have been functional. They will give you a really good mix of being able to do whatever you want and being able to create your own unique pieces, but also they will get you to like rein it in a little bit and really think about functionality and like designing for a consumer that actually are going to buy it and going to get good wear out of it. Another question about the sort of work that I do is how much homework is there and do you get time to relax at all? A lot of the stuff that I do, I kind of have to be in uni for anyway, so I have to like be using the sewing machines or have to be using the printers, so I feel like I don't actually do that much of it at home. I'm kind of always in the library or always at uni, so I feel like there's a good amount that you have to do at home. Obviously, like to be able to complete the checklist, you can't do it all in uni because that you'd be there literally 24 hours, but yeah, definitely you have to do some stuff at home, and maybe you have to prepare for lectures or write your essay at home, but also you just can easily go to like the library and sit in there and do it. You don't have to sit it in your accommodation and do it. But yeah, there's a lot of work that we get told to do outside of the actual lessons we get, but that's the same with any course, I think. So another question is, was it hard to make friends and are they bitchy and snobby? I worried about this so much, and looking back at it now, I didn't actually speak to the people I'm closest to now. During the first few months of uni, I actually met the people that I'm closest to now a few months into the year, when I had settled in, when I was feeling really confident. However, it was really nice because everybody on my course was lovely, so when I first moved there, I did find it easy to make friends, and I feel like you shouldn't put pressure on yourself to make friends. Like, it's okay to have one close friend as long as you can rely on that person and you feel happy that you have that friend, then that's fine. Like, you don't need to worry about being popular or having loads of people around you. I think you just need to just let it happen naturally, and that's the biggest advice I can give, is just let it happen naturally. Try not to worry about it too much, and what will happen, and what will happen is meant to be. So my face mask is nearly dry now, so I'm going to go wash it off and come back, and then I'll answer a couple of more questions and then finish up the video. So yeah, see you in a second. Okay, so I've washed my mask off. My skin feels so smooth, oh my god. So I'm actually going to finish up this video by answering 2 more questions, which is, do you regret moving to London and is it all worth it? I definitely feel that like a lot of people will worry about this when they're going to uni, about will they regret it or will it be worth it, will it be worth all the hard work and money that they're about to spend. But for me personally, I definitely feel like this has been so worth it so far. I've had such an amazing experience and I feel like I've learned so much already, and obviously this is only my first year out of my whole course. I definitely don't regret moving to London at all. I actually think that this is the best decision I could have ever made for myself personally. I feel like London is literally my place to be. I love it so much. I miss it so much right now. I'm craving to get back, and I'm eager just to get back to uni and put so much effort in and start the year fresh. And I feel like it's such a nice place to be. A lot of people worry about how dangerous it could be or worry about how busy it is all the time, but you just get used to it and you feel safe there. I especially feel safe there. I feel like I just worried about a lot of things similar to like whether it's going to be really busy in London all the time, whether I'm going to really love the city as much as I love Newcastle, like whether I'm going to like the people there as much. But I definitely don't regret moving there at all. My experience so far has been so positive, so I feel like if I was to regret it, then I wouldn't be going back and next year and I would be actually changing universities. So, and this also relates to you guys watching as well, whether you are at uni or you're moving into uni next year. Definitely just stick by it and just put your effort into it and really just try and stay positive, because it will be worth it. You will learn a lot from it, and you're generally going to grow up in your first year of uni. You're going to be able to fully find yourself and work out who you are as a person. It's such a nice experience, and I just feel like when I sit back and look at it now, I've learned so much. Like, I can't believe it. Like, I think about who I was a year ago and I literally feel like 2 different people. Like, London has changed me for the better, I feel, and I think that wherever you're going to uni, and if you're thinking about going to London, then just do it, and hopefully you'll be as pleased as I am. Okay, so that concludes this video. I feel like I've talked about so many different things and I've gone over so many different topics. However, I do feel like maybe some of these topics need a bit more explanation or a little bit more coverage on the different things that I've spoken about. So if you do have any more questions, please comment them down below and I will definitely answer them for you. So I am actually going to be turning these types of videos into a little series on my channel where I really go in depth about uni and about what I'm experiencing at the minute. Obviously, I'm only in my first year, so as the years go by, I will be uploading a lot more. So if you have any recommendations for future videos, then definitely leave them below. And also subscribe so you don't don't miss out on any videos. I don't only post about university, I also post about fashion in general. So yeah, kind of subscribe to see loads of different types of videos that could help you out in the future also. So yeah, I just want to say another massive thank you for having the patience to sit down and listen to me talk non-stop for half an hour. But please subscribe, follow my social medias, which will be on screen and down below. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Bye!